Hi guys, Elon Musk has been a massive pain in the rear for Starmer and his government since they took office. The richest man in the world has not just been using his own platform to spread misinformation, but has been amplifying others on the radical and even the far right. Musk's recent attack wasn't limited to Starmer though. He also insulted and engaged in what frankly could be seen as incitement against Government Minister Jess Phillips. So how do you respond to such a dangerous fool? Well, perhaps this was the right approach.
On the question of Elon Musk, look, I think most people are more interested in what's going to happen to the NHS, frankly, than what's happening on Twitter. But you asked me a really important question that's been in the news for the last few days. I am going to, with permission, just answer it quite fully because it is a really important set of issues. And let me start with this. Child sexual exploitation is utterly sickening, utterly sickening. And for many, many years, too many victims have been completely let down by perverse ideas about community relations, or by the idea that institutions must be protected above all else. And they've not been listened to and they've not been heard. And when I was chief prosecutor for 5 years, I tackled that head on, because I could see what was happening. And that's why I reopened cases that had been closed and supposedly finished. I brought the first major prosecution of an Asian grooming gang. In the particular case, it was in Rochdale, but it was the first of its kind. There were many that then followed that format. I changed the whole prosecution approach because I wanted to challenge and did challenge the myths and stereotypes that were stopping those victims being heard. So we changed the entire approach, not without criticism at the time, I might add. And when I left office, we had the highest number of child sexual abuse cases being prosecuted on record. Now, that record is not secret. As a public servant, it's there for all of you or everybody to see. I also called for mandatory reporting of child sexual abuse. I called for that a decade ago. The Tories did nothing about that for those 10 long years, including when the J report came out nearly 3 years ago now. Central plank, mandatory reporting, still hasn't been done. We're going to do it. But let's just to bring it in closer, and I will answer you on Jess Phillips in particular, because those that are spreading lies and misinformation as far and as wide as possible, they're not interested in victims. They're interested in themselves. Those who are cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote. And those attacking Jess Phillips, who I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend, not protecting victims. Jess Phillips has done 1,000 times more than they've even dreamt about when it comes to protecting victims of sexual abuse throughout her entire career. And so just as I took on the criminal justice system and the institutions when I was chief prosecutor, I'm prepared to call out this for what it is. We've seen this playbook many times. Whipping up of intimidation and threats of violence, hoping that the media will amplify it. Now, Jess Phillips does not need me or anybody else to speak on her behalf. But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats to Jess Phillips and others, then in my book, a line has been crossed.
Well said. I think this is the best he can do. He doesn't have the same platform as Nigel Farage or Elon Musk, and it's pointless responding to them on social media. You have to respond to them through traditional media, through the platform that you have. He's the Prime Minister. He has a significant platform. He can call a press conference. He can deliver a speech from Number 10. This is what he has to do. He must never, and I don't know if Keir Starmer or anyone from the Labour government is listening to this, but do not engage directly with Elon Musk on his platform, because he has He owns that platform. He controls the narrative there. He has 200 million followers. Nigel Farage has 3.5 million followers or something like that. We saw it recently with Kemi Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch with over 100,000 followers, something like that, trying to take on Nigel Farage. It was a ridiculous exercise. It was embarrassing. I said if she wanted to take him on, organize a debate. It would be in her interest, or if she was able to do that. Now, the same with Elon Musk. He's insane. He's a crazy person, but also a very dangerous individual. So you do not want to be engaging with him on his platform. As Starmer had said as well, people like Tommy Robinson, Elon Musk and Nigel Farage, these are people who are only interested in themselves. They're not interested in the people they claim to represent. It's about themselves. Elon Musk doesn't understand half the stuff that goes on in the UK, but he's happy to amplify people who spread misinformation, and he's happy to engage and insult and, frankly, incite violence against individuals in Britain. This is extremely dangerous. Now, how do you respond to that? I think Starmer is responding the best way he could. He's at a massive disadvantage because there are so many people following Elon Musk, also in the United Kingdom. But I think there's also another advantage that Starmer has over Musk and Nigel Farage to a certain extent. The majority of people in Britain are not following Elon Musk or Nigel Farage. They don't care about they don't know even what they're saying on social media, or they don't even care what they're saying on social media. They care about bread and butter issues. They care about what's happening, of course, with this issue when it comes to the grooming gangs. But they're also concerned about the NHS. They're concerned about the cost of living crisis, things that are not being talked about by Elon Musk or Nigel Farage. So this issue will be front and center for a while, and then it will, rightly or wrongly, go on the back burner. But I think we're going to see more flare-ups from Farage and from Elon Musk and Tommy Robinson and others. But when these things happen, you have to take a step back and realize, how do I approach this? Is it to engage with them on social media, or should I respond to the issue in general and talk about what I have achieved over the last number of years, what the previous governments did or did not do? Because this is in the interests of ordinary people, not what Elon Musk has to say or Elon Musk's opinion. He doesn't even live in the United Kingdom. So I think this is the best approach. There are pitfalls, of course. There are issues with that. But I think responding to him in this way and talking about the issue as opposed to just Elon Musk is the correct approach. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.